Hey everybody, Crow here, and how would I rank the Williams Bally Tables in Pinball FX3? Well, let's find out. So if you've been a viewer of this channel for quite some time, you used to know that every season of the Pinball Arcade, I used to come out with a video saying, oh, here are my table ranks for Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and so on and so forth. The only problem is that the Pinball Arcade stopped releasing tables. Now, I may go back and do a video on, oh, here's ranking what's actually left on Pinball Arcade. But for right now, let's focus on Pinball FX3 and the Williams Bally tables. Zen Studios started releasing the tables in late 2018, I think October 2018. And now that we're just starting 2020, I thought it'd be a good time to rank what they've actually done. Now, as always, these are my just personal rankings, and really just based on my biased opinion. Everybody's opinions are going to be different, and no matter how I rank these tables, I will just say that I do like to play them all. There's not one of these tables where I say, oh, I absolutely hate playing these tables. That's not the case at all. What I've done is I've actually gone back and I've played all these tables again recently, came up with a list, and I'm just going to go through the list. And in the past, I basically had these videos scripted, but as you may be able to tell right now, I've decided not to script it. But after I've gone through these table rankings, I'll also rank the table packs themselves, because you can't buy these tables individually. You have to buy the table packs. So let's get started. At number 18, I have Hurricane. And like I said, this is unscripted, so I might be looking at some video of it while I am trying to make up reasons why I put them there. But for Hurricane, it's actually quite easy. It's really the least interesting of all 18 tables. Now, I know some people out there that absolutely hate this table. They despise this table. But that's not the case for me. I just think it's a little bit too old school for how modern it is. Modern being the 90s. I mean, a lot of the cool things that are at the table are a lot more impressive in real life, like the double Ferris wheel, the fact that the ball comes around past the flippers. But really, all I do when I play this table is I just shoot it up the middle again and again and again, trying to get that million, see how many millions I can get, and that's about it. So, Hurricane, number 18. At number 17, I have Junkyard. Now, I'm not particularly a big fan of this table. I don't know if there are a lot of big Junkyard fans out there. I imagine there are people out there that really, really like this table, and I do find it interesting, but I really don't get that much enjoyment out of playing it. More than Hurricane for sure, and maybe it's just because I've never played this table in real life, but again, there's just a couple shots, you're just trying to collect things. And the video mode. I do not like the video mode in this table at all. The one where you're shooting the toast at the dog. The whole game just stops. I'm terrible at the minigame. I don't like it. That might be one of the reasons why I have Junkyard as low as it is. At number 16, I have Black Rose. Again, this is an interesting table in its own right. You've got the whole cannon thing and, the whole return fire. I like the theme of the table, but the fact of the matter is that when I play this game, all I really do is shoot up the middle at the cannon all the time. I don't even care about loading the cannon, although that is, again, it's a thing that's more fun to do in real life than it is in a digital version. Also, Black Rose has 3 video modes, and I don't find any of them interesting. You've got 2 of them that are timing based, and then another one where you have to slam the flippers crazily, and I don't like it. At number 15, we have Safecracker. Now, don't get me wrong, I really, really like Safecracker, but it's really hard for me to justify putting this any higher up on the list, because, well, Safecracker is really luck-based. You've got the shorter pinball table, you got the smaller flippers. It's very hard to aim what you're shooting for, but the real luck comes in with the board game. Once you break into the bank, the whole thing turns into a board game, and it's all luck-based, and depending on what numbers you roll. And there's very little strategy when it comes to what you can and cannot do in the board game. It's really all down to the dice roll, and just sometimes you're lucky enough to get that magic token, and sometimes you're not. At number 14, I have the Champion Pub. Again, this is a table that's very tough for me to place because I do like it. I do like playing it when I do play it. But again, there's just a lot of other tables I'd rather play other than this one. You've got a whole bunch of gimmicks in this table. You've got the punching bag, you've got the jump rope, and then the whole game kind of comes to a stop when you have to fight a boxer. And a lot of times when I'm fighting the boxer, I just seem to drain the ball. The ball just kind of flies everywhere it wants to go, and the ball just seems to drain. Now, granted, that may just be me, and a lot of times I do play where the ball doesn't drain, but when it does drain during a boxing fight, it just seems really unfair, and so that might just be why I kind of ranked it a little bit lower than perhaps I should have. Again, I don't know, I just have a good time with this one, but again, it's just a little bit unorthodox for me. Alright, at number 13, I have the Party Zone. Now, there was a time where I would have probably ranked this a lot lower, but for some reason, the Party Zone is slowly growing on me. I just like the wackiness of this table, and that just kind of elevates that for me. Also, you know, you've got the dancing robot, you've got the supersonic robotic comic, you've got Captain Bizarre, and, you know, the ozone shot that just keeps increasing in value as it hits it, and then that one really hard shot off to the side, which is part of the reason I'm starting to like this table a little bit more and more. Yeah, and a bunch of cameos from other Bally tables. At number 12, I've got Red and Ted's Roadshow. Now, this to me is more of a pseudo-sequel to Funhouse than anything else, because Funhouse, you had Rudy, the talking dummy head, and here they just brought back that dummy head, except they put two of them in the table. You've got Red and Ted. A lot of the gimmicks, like eating the ball and stuff, are straight from Funhouse. But this table, I like to play it mainly because I'm still learning different things about it. I feel like I keep getting better at this, and I keep getting better at this. So I'd like to keep coming back to this one. But it is very hard to like understand what you're doing, because like where you're supposed to hit things aren't very clear in the table. You got roads all over the place. I like the theme of it, just, you know, going on a construction destruction kind of rampage across the country. And I just put it where it is because I'm not a super big fan of it, but maybe one day I could be, and maybe in the future this could be higher up on the list. At number 11, I have Theater of Magic. I really liked this pinball machine in the arcades when I played it way back in the day. I mean, it was just really amazing to play. Like, oh, where'd the ball go? Oh, the ball's like stuck to the magnet on the box. The ball's disappeared. Lots of cool magic tricks that you could do in the table. Now, they're slightly less impressive when you're playing it digitally because it is digital. But again, this table does have some pretty cool things. I like knocking on the trunk 3 times, getting the ball in the trunk, and then performing the magical feat, or whatever they call it. I like the multi-ball in this. But again, I put this at number 11 just because I like the 10 other tables more than this one. All right, starting us off with the top 10, we've got Circus Voltaire. I think a lot of people really like this table, and they would have put it a lot higher on this list. Me, I'm actually surprised I put it as high as I did. I'm not a super big fan of this table, and maybe it's because it's one of those tables I never played in real life. It's probably really impressive with the lighting in real life. And they really did make an attempt to do justice to the lighting here, but they could have done better. But again, I recognize how interesting this table is, so it's hard for me not to put it any lower than what I did. And at number 9, I have the free table, Fishtails. So Fishtails is free for everybody to play. You just have to download Pinball FX3 and then you're off and running. I just like this table despite the fact that it's got those lightning flippers. But again, it's really fun to try and, you know, hit the ramps, try to catch all the fish, lie. This is one of those tables I'm far from mastering, so I'm always interested in giving this one another try. And the table's fun, and really if I rank these tables in anything, it's how much fun I have playing them. So that's why I put Fishtails at number 9. And at number 8, I've got Tales of the Arabian Nights. I'm actually really surprised I ranked this one up as high as I did at number 8, partially because I was getting sick of a Tales from the Arabian Nights. It was one of the first tables in the Pinball Arcade back in 2012. It was included in Pinball Hall of Fame Williams collection for some of the platforms. And it's been around even longer than that, because I've been told there was a Pinball Arcade kind of game for Windows going back as far as 2000, and this was included. I've never seen that. I keep getting mentioned about it, but I never really looked up what that was like. But again, playing this in Pinball FX3, I just continue to have fun with it. And I have even more fun when I don't wish for the jewels. And I'm pretty sure you get more points by earning them rather than just wishing for everything and getting to the rescue the princess really quick. Although, if you do manage to rescue the princess, you do get a buttload of points for that. One of the things that I think falters in the Pinball FX3 version is that when you do have to rescue the princess and you get unlimited balls, you have to launch them manually. And if you don't have like an analog stick, if you're forced to use a keyboard, you have to hold that launch button a while before you can actually launch the ball. And that was really killing me because my controller that I use, I've got a button rather than a plunger. Maybe that's my own fault, but again, maybe if I actually put a plunger on there, I'd rank this one higher. But that's just a minor thing. I doubt I would. At number 7, I have Attack from Mars. Fun table, like I say, a lot of humor. Kind of based off those 50s stereotypical alien attacks, trading cards. Not based off of the Tim Burton movie Mars Attacks, which this table originally came out around the time of. But again, it's fun. You have more fun playing it now, trying to get to total annihilation and then getting to Mars and attacking Mars and then becoming the ruler of the universe. Really a challenge in Pinball FX3, and that's what I really like about it. It's just challenging, but it's fun and challenging, not just frustrating and challenging. At number 6, I have Medieval Madness. Now, to me, this plays a lot like Attack from Mars. You have to make each of the shots a certain number of times. You have to attack the middle. In the Attack from Mars, it was the spaceship. Here, it's the castle, and then defeat the castle. But the reason why I like Medieval Madness a little bit more than Attack from Mars is because of the multi-ball in Medieval Madness. Because once you make one of your shots a certain number of times, let's say it's the Joust shot, you activate the Merlin spot for a Joust multi-ball. But if you can resist hitting that spot and then get like the damsel, rescue the damsel, if you can, the Peasant Revolt, the Canopole, if you can get all those before hitting the Merlin shot, you then get all those multi-balls combined at once and everything. So it's just more fun to me to try and stack all those things at once in Medieval Madness, whereas you don't really have anything like that in Attack from Mars. And at number 5, I have Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, this was initially a table I wasn't a big fan of, but the more I played it and the more I understood it and the more I found a lot more of the secrets in this table, I just really like this table. It's very easy for me to put this in the top 5 because I just really enjoy this table. Trying to spell film in order to get the sequential bonus for spelling it in order. Then after spelling film, starting the movie, and then finding the creature, rescuing the girl, all that, and it's just very difficult, but it is a fun difficult. It's a really fun difficult, and I really enjoy playing this table. And I really like the secrets of this table, like when you fight the Peeping Tom, how you could decapitate him. Although that's only in any uncensored version you play, because they censored that in like the console versions. At number 4, I have Monster Bash. Now, this was very difficult for me to decide whether or not I wanted to put Monster Bash higher than Creature, because in some respects, I like Creature a little bit more because it is a little bit more difficult. But at the end of the day, I think I got to put Monster Bash above Creature because it's your typical, well, let's make all the shots and earn all the creatures and then start the Monster Bash. But that's actually simple in comparison to actually trying to get all their instruments together and just blowing out this game. But also trying to get the creatures in a certain order, like trying to start Dracula and the Mummy before starting Frankenstein, so you could do Frankenstein's multi-ball while as many other creatures are out, so you could just, dominate the table. Just doing that alone keeps me coming back to this table again and again, just trying to see if I could do that, if I could strategize a certain way and just make those strategies come to life on the table. At number 3, I have Whitewater. And again, this is one of those tables that I might not have ranked so highly in the past, but the more I play this, the more fun I have with it, because you've got the multiple levels, you've got the 2 shots from the upper flipper past the Bigfoot area, but basically it just boils down to, here, make this shot, make this shot, make that shot, advance all the rafts, get to Wet Willies. And it's just a very difficult thing to do. But again, I say this a lot, it's a fun difficult. And a fun difficult makes the table even more fun for me. And that's really all I have to say about Whitewater, despite the fact it is in the number 3 spot. I just enjoy it. In the number 2 spot, I've got No Good Gophers. This is just one of those tables, again, where I started playing it and I just started liking it more and more and more and more. And it might be in the number 2 spot just because it has one of the most satisfying shots in any of these tables, and that's the hole-in-one shot, where the ball comes around, the ramp lowers, and then you hit that ramp and shoot it up in the air and try and get it to go into the hole. It is a great feeling when you accomplish that. And but not only that, but aside from that, is just making your strokes until you get close enough to the green, then putting out. They did a really good job of emulating kind of golf in a pinball table. Not only that, but the Gophers that may or may not have been inspired by Caddyshack come out, and you've got to fight the Gophers as well. I just really like this table. So, what did I put for number 1? Let's find out. And my number 1 table, and my favorite game in Pinball FX3, aka Williams Pinball for right now, is the Getaway High Speed 2. And it's very hard for me not to put this in the number 1 spot, because this is one of my favorite pinball tables from the 90s. In fact, it's probably my second favorite table of all time. Don't ask me what my first is. Or ask me, I don't care. But yeah, I just really enjoy this table. And the gear shifter is just feels awesome when you have to like shift gears and you hear the car revving, or changing gears, getting faster and faster. And then there's really not anything too complicated about this table. It's just simple, straightforward. Again, this is one of those tables that's way more fun to play in real life, trust me. But again, it just may be due to nostalgia that I have to put this at number 1. Also, the video mode. I really like the video mode in this. So that's how I rank the tables individually. But you can't buy the tables individually. You have to buy them in packs. So how would I rank the packs? Well, I basically assigned a score to each of the tables based on how I ranked them, added them up, and then here are the rankings for the individual table packs as I've added them up. Now, Fishtails won't be included in this at all because it is a free table. Anybody can play it. You don't have to pay for it. So that's just out of the running altogether. But in the 6th spot, there are 6 table packs. In the 6th spot, I have Volume 3, which included Safecracker, The Champion Pub, and Theater of Magic. Theater of Magic, I think, is the best table in that group. Safecracker, again, I like Safecracker, but I just scored it really low due to it being just a very odd pinball machine and being very luck-based. Not saying it's not fun, I'm just saying it could be frustrating when you can't get luck to go your way. So let's see, in spot number 5, I've got Volume 2, which included Black Rose, The Party Zone, and Attack from Mars. Again, Attack from Mars I feel is the best of that lot. But Party Zone is pretty fun too, and Black Rose, again, just for me, just one shot again and again, and video modes that I don't like. In spot number 4, I've got Volume 4, which included Hurricane, Red and Ted's Roadshow, and Whitewater. And despite Whitewater being really high on my list, Hurricane wound up really low on my list. And yeah, I think Red and Ted's Roadshow wound up kind of in the middle, or even maybe a little bit less than in the middle. So again, that's how Volume 4 wound up kind of in the middle. In spot number 3, I've got the Universal Monsters pack, which had a bit of a disadvantage because there's only 2 tables in this pack rather than 3. And despite that, it wound up at slightly better than the halfway mark at number 3. But again, Creature from the Black Lagoon and Monster Bash are very good tables, and I still would not hesitate to recommend to use a Universal Monsters pack. In spot number 2, got Volume 1, which included Junkyard, Medieval Madness, and the Getaway High Speed 2. And despite me not liking Junkyard all that much, the Medieval Madness and the Getaway High Speed 2 wound up very high on my list. So again, I would actually recommend all these volumes, but Volume 1 I would recommend wholeheartedly. And finally, the best table pack I have here is Volume 5, which includes Circus Voltaire, Tales of the Arabian Nights, and No Good Gophers, the last table pack of 2019. All very good tables. And despite the fact that I ranked Circus Voltaire very low, a lot of people would rank that a lot higher. So I don't know if I get any arguments from anybody that Volume 5 If you had to pick any of these table packs, pick Volume 5 first. Volume 1, Universal Monsters Party Pack, and that's right there, $30. Buy it all. It's 60 bucks right now with the 6 table packs, or wait for a sale too. But yeah, I think we're done with this video. Anyway, that's all I have. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, do like, subscribe. Have any comments, please leave comments whether or not you like this new format or not with the green screen, because I kind of want to start using it from now on. And yeah, that's all I have. See you all next time.